only that, but the fact is, if you're going to use the account about Thomas, where I won't believe, okay, you have a skeptic there. I won't believe until I can put my hands right into the nail prints and see the side. Okay, whatever happened, you have his testimony after he said that, my Lord, my God. So something happened. What do you think?
Well, it is curious that Jesus is reported as saying not, so now you've touched, you believe, and so on. But he was saying that he'd seen. It's a very peculiar thing to my mind. It's not the way that I would have written a report if I'd been there and seen someone actually touching after the...
What about the women? In the two accounts, the women and Mary Magdalene alone, do you think they touched them?
These are accounts that they did. Yes, indeed. But that we have an account that they touched him is not a decisive reason to believe that he was touched. This is what they were reported as having done.
But you'd have more to complain about if no one touched him in the Gospels.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
At least we have these three cases because Ignatius says Thomas touched him.
It is remarkably little, actually. After all, we will all presumably remember, art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? This is surely the first thing anyone would do if they were wondering whether the vision was a seeing of something that was there that other people could see and touch and so on,
By the way, if you're going to admit the data from the Gospels there, the same author of the fourth Gospel, 1 John, starts out the first 3 verses and says, we've seen him with our eyes, our hands have touched him, we've beheld the word that, in John 1:14, the word was made flesh. So John comes back in the first epistle, if you like, that material.
Let me read it to you here. 6 times he says, we have seen something. 6 times we have heard something. And he says, that which we have heard, which we have seen with our eyes, which we have looked at, the Greek is scrutinized, and our hands have touched. So now, Jesus, I think in Luke, wasn't it, where Jesus said, touch me and see that I'm not a ghost.
Right. Yes. And eats.
Yeah. So the evidence seems to show that we have a literal physical body going on here that the boys were a little bit surprised to see in the first place, but it took them quite a few experiences, and they did touch, they did see, and that's what they're claiming.
It's not they didn't touch there, sure. They saw a vision of someone eating, didn't they?
Well, he says there, that which we touched.
Well, if you like, if you like the straightforward account, in Luke 24, Jesus said, a spirit hath not flesh and bones as ye see me have. So he's saying, I'm not a spirit, if we take the Gospels, straightforwardly.
Well, the Spirit is claiming not to be a spirit.
Since he's saying he's not a spirit, I assume that means he's not a spirit.